Hi, my name is Michael.G, and we have another video for today. And this time we're going to go into some entanglements that you might have with narcissists. So this is actually going to be a personal story. This happened to me. And this is entanglement with a covert narcissist at work. And you probably work with narcissists or covert narcissists. And a lot of times once the covert narcissist got you, they become the narcissist, and that's really how they operate. So in this case, it was a few years ago, and had known this gentleman as an acquaintance, and he had a pretty interesting business. He was making machines, food machines, and he was getting older, and I see him from time to time, and it was probably a decent business from what you could see on the outside. And we had spoken before about working together, but nothing ever really happened. And then all of a sudden one day he shows up, calls us up and shows up at the house, and he tells me that he's going to sell, he's thinking of selling the business, and he made us an offer that was very, like, not too good to be true, logical. Okay, it was logical that we were going to pay on monthly, and we learned the business. But once we got hooked in with him, he started moving the goalpost a little bit, but we understand it. His last name had the word Will in it, kind of like Williams or Wills, whatever. So that should have been a red flag for me. But anyway, we'll call him Lucifer for now. So Lucifer got us in. We were working there, and of course things were wrong. And one of the things that they do, and here it is. So what the covert narcissist does, or the covert narcissist does, is that they bring you into a point where if you say no, there's going to be a lot of fear attached to that. Okay? A lot of fear. If you say no, there'll be fear. Now you always hear me saying no, and the no is really, really important. Really, really important. And when you're dealing with people, you can't just make your no on slightest infractions, because there are things that happen that, things go wrong. And if you're headed towards the truth, you can work out disagreements, because maybe it's a perception of a situation is not reality, and you got to get to the bottom of things when you're dealing in business. And but you got to be ready to say no. But the thing with the narcissist is he uses the fear of loss. Like you don't want to say no because you have fear, because you're worried about loss. And that's a very common thing that the narcissist does. They set up this scenario that if you say no, you'll have fear and you'll have loss. They thrive on that. So what do? You say yes. And when you say the yes instead of the no, now you think that you're going to gain, but in reality you're going to have a loss. This is the reality. This is what they make you feel, and why you say that if you say no, then you're going to have loss. If you say yes, you're going to have a gain, but in reality you will have a loss. And that's something you got to really understand, that they play with that. People that play with fear, fear-mongering, the war on terror, China is the bad guy, we got to go get China. All this tactic is the same tactic. If we don't do something, something's going to happen. Whenever you hear that, the truth of everything kind of lets you see where people are coming from. What's the motivation? That's really the bottom line, the undercurrent. So the covert narcissist, we're dealing with them, and we got a big sale. So we got a big sale. We sold a big machine. We're talking about a machine that's about $50,000. Okay? Now, once we got this big sale, now we need him. Need him. Now you need the covert narcissist. Now, once the covert narcissist gets you in, and now you got the big sale, now you need him. Now he becomes the narcissist. Okay, this is a pretty common thing. We got a big sale. We need him to make the sale. We took a deposit on this sale, and we were blowing through cash pretty quick to make this item. So we got $25,000 deposit, and we're blowing through that already after like a month or whatever. And really, things start getting tight now. Things start getting angry. And they get angry because as far as he's concerned, he took away our no. He thinks he took away our no. All right? And he took it away because now the fear is we got the big sale. We got the big sale, $50,000. That's a big thing for fear. And if we confront him or don't listen to him or don't follow his lead, we're going to have a loss. The pragmatic person, once you got that big sale, would think, well, we got to, or not pragmatic. You could say pragmatic, or you could say we're put in a position that we are now forced to enable the narcissist. And now this is someone who makes these videos all the time now, and someone this is now my test. Okay, this is my test. This is a big one. I got a lot of money out there. Fear is never something good to fear. When someone pushes fear on you, you got to be really careful how that's coming, because it could be something to control you. So what ended up happening, and here's where the story gets interesting. One day, now better yet, let me tell you a little bit more about the narcissist. Once the narcissist is in this position, the narcissist thinks now that we're in fear and we're going to do what he wants because of fear, because they create that fear thing. What they do now is they're like the guy who thinks he's going to win the race, and he starts playing games. And what they do is their arrogance really shines now, like really shines. He thinks he's got us. In the whole time that you're working with a narcissist, you have to understand, if you can't put the boot against their neck, you're not going to have a good situation. Okay? Now, one of the things with him was he was deadbeat broke at the time. He had no money in his business, literally begging for $400 at one point, the week before. But he knows that we have this big sale and we need him. He became a narcissist, and now fear is over our head. So he kind of says dumb things, okay? He says dumb things. And this is what you gotta wait for. Sometimes you say to yourself, oh, I got to do this or else I'm going to get screwed. You're going to get screwed no matter what. Let's just get that right. You're dealing with a narcissist or a covert narcissist, you're going to get screwed. The thing is, at one point, you have to have faith. And faith in the truth. And that's the deal. You have to have faith in the truth. Okay? Because this fear will make you lie. Because you're going to keep going on with it to try and enable a relationship, thinking you're going to save it. There are times when you can save it, okay, and then there are times when they're not. When you're dealing with a narcissist, all of a sudden they're going to say a magic word. They're going to say a phrase, a word, or do something that is like the light of truth is pivotal in that one moment. And this guy, Lucifer, said, I'm in the driver's seat. That's what he said. I'm in the driver's seat. Now he's selling the business to us, So in a sense, he's going to lose his identity over the business of making these food machines, and then we're going to be owning the business. But he said he's in the driver's seat. Okay? That was it. For me, that's it. That means there's no way that we can salvage or fix this or work around the narcissist that day. That moment he uttered those words to me, now I have to have my faith and power. Faith breeds courage and power. Okay? Faith, courage, power, truth. These are all together the same power. They work together. So now, that day, we were making a food machine, not for this customer, a different one. And he had stolen half the money from the customer and never started work on the machine because he chewed it up in his business. And we were like left holding the bag as we came in. Now, again, I'm not the best business person in the world. You know, I have talent in making things, but sometimes making the actual agreement wasn't the best. And that's not my strong point. That's okay. You know, somebody else can correct me on that in the future. But anyway, so what ended up happening, he said, I'm in the driver's seat. That moment, took this big machine with had wheels on it, you know, this big machine, you know, makes all kinds of food, and I wheeled it outside the building. Wheeled it outside the building. It's outside. And Olga's standing guard with the machine. Go 1 block away, get a U-Haul, throw that machine, and that's another $50,000 machine. That now that's my machine. He actually owed that machine to a customer. We were making that machine, and now we just took it because it's our machine. We put our labor into it. We took the machine. We took the machine out of there. So machine's gone. Machine's gone. What ends up happening is we split. And I'm going to probably use other videos with this because the narcissist is always going to try and get you to be in fear. So the thing was, when I took that machine out of there, it's gone. And my thing is that it's better to be in the righteousness than to sit there and lie to myself. It's more important to be in the righteousness. And the thing was, this was the point that we really needed to see that, yep, this is no good. Whatever enabling we did that we probably should have stopped it before, we didn't. But this was the one. And this is the point of no return. If this day had passed, and we did not pull out the machine and start severing the relationship that day, under no circumstances could we fix it. And that's how you have to be when you deal with this guy. Like a razor blade. That's it. That's it. You've shown your true colors. You want to be in the driver's seat. That means we got nothing coming from this guy. And we're only going to lose. So now the faith is having the guts to sever the relationship. Now, you know that big $50,000 sale is there, right? That big $50,000 sale, which we chewed up $25,000 of it, and we didn't have enough to make that work. So what are we going to do, right? You think, what are we going to do? That's where faith kicks in. And that's where the truth and the light kicks in. Because light will co-sign faith. Truth will co-sign faith. And then the power will come through faith, through truth, through light to fix everything. But when you're enabling, you do not trust in faith. You only trust in your will. Okay? So this moment is the moment that faith is driving everything at that point. Faith is driving everything. And now, it wasn't easy breezy days after that. We still lost money, but we did not lose. We did not have to go back to this customer and hand them $25,000. You know, that's a big deal. We didn't lose on this machine. You know, we got you know, some of the money back on this machine. So let's go a little further. So now, when you have faith, it is beyond will. Let's understand that. Beyond will. Your will is your cognitive decisions, choices you would make based on your five senses or your reasonings. Faith is an unknown. But faith is supported by truth, power, and light. You can rearrange these any way you want. But this is the ultimately light, power, and truth will all work together for faith. The alignment of your body, when you are in truth, that means space and time will start working together in unison. The moment we told this guy, Lucifer, that we're out, we're not doing this, that $50,000 sale, we would be in fear and deal with that. But it's more important to be in the truth, to be true to yourself, than it is to let the fear overcome you. Because the fear will put you down. Would mean that we have to deal with Lucifer, and we would lose everything. We would lose, not only lose, but imagine this guy, he'd be taunting us the whole time with that machine. So we severed the relationship. We said no. And this is going to happen in your life. And especially now, because now you're going to become more conscious of this. Because, you see, the light of Christ is the unifying between space and time. It is putting you together with yourself. When this power starts happening, then you're going to have the faith, the truth, the power, the light. The power of the unseen will become visible and work with you. People wonder why everything goes wrong with them sometimes. If you're in the lies enabling, you are sacrificing the truth for your will. Understand that. You sacrifice the truth for your will. When you sacrifice the truth for your will, you are crucifying Jesus in your body so you can maintain your will. That's a big pill to swallow. You see, when Jesus came and he was crucified, when the Jews had crucified him, they crucified him so that he can keep their will. They could keep their will. So they sacrificed the truth for will. That's a very powerful thing to understand. When you say yes, when you mean no, that means you are sacrificing truth for your will. Okay? You're sacrificing truth for your will. Then the power of the light is going to not work with you, it's going to work against you. All because you sacrifice truth. Because you see, if you take truth out, okay, if you take the truth out, the power is there. Power is there, but the power now is not going to be light, it's going to be darkness. Darkness, power, there's no faith, now it becomes fear. Once you take the truth out, the light is gone also. So if light is gone, what's left is darkness. Now darkness, power will breed fear. And this is a stumbling block now. This becomes, this works against you. If I tell you this video is such a powerful video to this point, and I actually didn't have any idea where this was going to go. And that's what's amazing about this. Because it's following the same pattern. The same pattern. You're not going to have the power working in your favor when you enable. We did not enable this knucklehead once he said that he's in the driver's seat. Once he said he's in the driver's seat, then the only thing that was on my mind was to sever the relationship. And you remember that $50,000 sale that we got, that we needed him, that we have to give our customers to? Things worked out. The unseen brought forth somebody else who wanted to sell their machine. That's crazy. The same machine that they wanted to buy, actually a little better than what they wanted to buy. We took this machine, we bought it, we sold it to them, and still made a profit. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. But it's unseen. It became a visible reality because faith, truth, power, and light work together. If you take any one of them out, it's going to be replaced. And once you replace that, let me write that down. So faith, truth, faith, truth, power, light. I love this. I never thought of this before. So this just came to me, right? When writing. So faith, truth, power, and light. These all go together, and they will work together. They will work together in the invisible towards good. They're going to all work together. You're going to have the power of the light because you're in the truth, because you had faith. And that's what faith is. Faith is seeing something, believing in something that is not visible. But one thing you can say for sure, that you can always have faith in the truth. Because even if you go through a bad situation and you're in truth, that bad situation was probably necessary. You know, it could be preventing a tragedy or something. So faith, truth, power, and light. Once you enable, you take the truth out. And if you take the truth out, well, you might as well take the light out. So if there's no light, then you're definitely going to have darkness now. Again. And the darkness power is going to... The darkness power, without truth, is going to bring you fear. With faith, there's courage. With fear, there's will. Okay? The will is magnified. With faith, you have courage. With fear, you have the will. So if you have darkness, do the other side of it. The power, now power's power. Power's the energy. Lies. Fear. Will. Okay. See what happens here now. Okay. They're in darkness. Their power is to lie, to say no when they mean yes. They are in fear of losing this person, and they're going to use their will to maintain this relationship. This person eats the darkness. This person eats the lies. It emboldens their head with power. It keeps them separated from their body so they have fear. And they're living in darkness as well. Because they're eating darkness. You know? When we dealt with this guy with the pasta, with the food machines, when we dealt with this guy with the food machines, he used every trick in the book after. I mean, he put on another face, Mr. Humility. He came back in. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at that point. And because why? Because once you implement faith based on truth, the power will bring the light. Will bring you towards the light. You can use these together. These will go together. These will go together. Okay, so if you're not here, you take out any one of these. If you take out any one of these, it's like an infestation, and you're going to get all of these. Okay? Who would have thought that truth is so important? Like, you'd never think that truth was so important. You take truth out of here, then you are creating your own stumbling block. You're creating either going to create that one or this one. One of these two you're going to be. Because this is the separation. You know, the Bible talks about the Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. It's three. If you don't have that, if the Holy Spirit is not, or the light, or the truth is not in the relationship, this is what you have. One person in their body is this, the other person is in their body like that. And we have this magnified in this country and in the world now more than ever. More than ever. It is really going exponentially upwards. Because everybody's living in fear. Look, everybody's putting these masks on. The government is putting you in fear. You know? You're in darkness. Now the powers, you can't move. You're going to be starving from home. If you listen to what's going on in the world right now, with just this pandemic or plandemic or whatever, at the end of the day, you'll be home safe but starving. Home safe and starving. You got to find a way around what's being imposed on you, because this fear is being imposed on you on a global, well, it's on a world scale. I don't want to say globe, because who knows? Maybe the Earth is flat. The entire world now is being told you have to be in fear, fear, fear. They're gonna come get you. It's based on lies. It's based on lies. You know, a manipulation. Exactly what the covert narcissist wants you to do. And there's a lot of people that lost their jobs. There's a lot of people that lost a lot because of the fear. It's a collective fear. You know, we have the war on terror in the United States. You hear, oh, they're coming to get us. They're coming to get us. They're going to come and get us. Nonsense. We took stuff from them, and, you know, we have to justify the war machine. We need to justify giving Lockheed Martin billions of dollars. Anytime you hear the government say, well, we're fearing of this, like Russia's not doing anything. Russia has 6 bases outside of Russia. The United States has, 1,000? They go, Russia's not an offensive force, but they tell you they are. This is probably the end of the video. I'm about to